book your cancer screening. Visit us today or call
Together we fight cancer with hope and compassion.
St. Francis Community Hospital. We treat, God heals.
Mater Misericordiae Hospital, healing meets innovation. With advanced laparoscopic surgery, we offer patients a faster and safer path to recovery.
We do very small incisions using what we call keyhole surgery, and we introduce cameras into very small spaces and small holes that we also do, and introduce small gadgets that are able to do different kind of surgeries.
From gallbladder removal to infertility treatments and endometriosis care, our specialists treat conditions that once required open surgery.
Being able to currently do minimally invasive procedures that assure a patient of reduced length of stay in the hospital, reduced complications likelihood, that has been supported by the current infrastructure that we've set up in the hospital.
Mater Misericordiae Hospital. Excellence in care every step of the way.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic Focus. My name is Deborah Mania, and joining me for sign language interpretation for this bulletin is Jane Mbaya. Welcome. Today, the Universal Church is celebrating the feast of St. Augustine of Hippo, the founder of the Augustinian order, from which came the current Pope, the 14th Pope Leo XIV, to bear that name. Christians have been urged to take decisive steps in life by fulfilling God's will in their various vocations within the Church. In the Catholic Diocese of Kakamega, Bishop Joseph Obanyi Sangwe led the Sisters of Mary in marking the feast day, which also featured Jubilees of 50 and 25 years of service, as well as perpetual professions of vows by members of the congregation. In his homily, the bishop called on the sisters to remain humble and place their trust in God, while urging Christians at large to strengthen their faith.
Kukumbuka ya kwamba we depend on God. We don't depend on ourselves. Many a times we think we are self-sufficient. But the Jubilee is a time to remind ourselves that it's God whom we depend on. Na ndio sababu tunapowaombea hawa ndugu zetu, Mungu awarejeshe kwake, na wao wakiendelea kumtumikia wakumbuke ya kwamba ni neema za Mungu ndizo zilizowaita. Wale ambao wanaingia kuweka maisha yao kwa Mungu daima, na wao wakumbuke ya kwamba lazima wamtegemee Mungu. So katika somo la pili nasema sio ya kwamba nimekwisha kamilika, nimekwisha fika, lakini ninakaza mwendo ili nipate kufikia kile ambacho Mungu atanipa. So it's always straining forward and taking an athlete's attitude, like an athlete. Now, Kenyans understand what it is to be an athlete. You can get a gold medal, silver medal, a bronze medal, but we are talking about a gold medal. Na yule mtu ambaye anataka kupata ile ya dhahabu, zawadi ya dhahabu, anajikaza akiangalia mbele, haangalii nyuma, ili anakaza mwendo wake, mbio zake, kusudi aweze kufikia ile zawadi ambayo ni dhahabu. Na sisi tunalinganisha maisha yetu, tunaambiwa na Paulo tulinganishe maisha yetu, sio kwa sababu tumefika, sio kwa sababu tumekamilika, lakini tukaze mwendo. You who are making your perpetual profession, you are trying to gaze at Jesus, you are trying to strain forward and learn without looking back, so that you can gain that crown of righteousness that everybody seeks. So, you have not accomplished. You have actually not even reached. You are not even in the middle. You are only beginning. And I'm not only talking about them. I'm talking about all of us. For us who say we have finished 60 years and you think you have arrived, you are only beginning. For you are saying you are 25 years and you think you have gone somewhere, you are nowhere. And for those who are making their perpetual vows, thinking that we are now beginning, you are actually beginning. So we are all beginners perpetually, because we strain forward. Until we reach God, we have not achieved. And that's what Paul is saying. It's not that I've achieved or I've arrived. I'm straining forward. And every time you are straining forward, then you are a beginner. Then we are all beginners, whether we are celebrating jubilees, or we are making our perpetual vows, or we are making our...
Moving forward, and on other news, the Cabinet Secretary for Education, Julius Ogamba Migos, today opened a major conference in Embu that brings together policymakers, researchers, and education leaders to chart the future of learning in Kenya. The 6th Biennial Education Evidence for Action Conference, alongside the inaugural Education Deans Forum, Kenya is expected to shape critical reforms in teacher training, curriculum implementation, and funding of higher education. Lilian Kimandi has the details.
The Cabinet Secretary for Education has officially opened the 6th Biennial Education Evidence for Action Conference and the inaugural Education Deans Forum, Kenya at the University of Embu. In his keynote, the CS underscored the importance of evidence-based research in driving reforms, praising the University of Embu and partners for fostering collaboration between policymakers, academia, and practitioners. He highlighted key reforms already underway, including domiciling junior schools in primary schools, rationalizing learning areas under competency-based education, and preparing for transition to senior school. 11 education bills are also being finalized to anchor reforms in law.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, reforming the education sector remains one of the key priorities of the Kenya Kwanza administration. Under the auspices of the Presidential Working Party on Education Reform, and I'm glad a number of you participated in that process and chaired committees, education stakeholders and members of the public provided input and comments geared towards enhancing access and quality in our education system. The Working Party analyzed the evidence and made recommendations that we are now recommending. Indeed, as we speak today, in basic education, for example, we've already rolled out key recommendations such as domiciling junior school in primary schools, rationalizing the learning areas under the competency-based education, and setting the stage for transition to pathways in senior school. We have, for instance, 11 bills to effect changes to the legal framework that are pending approval by the cabinet before we submit it to parliament. I can see you are shaking your head in agreement, because you know that is where the issue that you raised about professionalizing teacher education is going to be dealt with in these 11 bills that deal with the whole sector in our education, so that we can have reforms that are aligned, that are not in silos, and that's why we are amending them together, so that we don't amend one today and we amend the other one tomorrow and we come up like this. We are doing them all together so that we can ensure that we now have a system that works across the board. The Working Party process has through research and evidence that proposes and tests viable solutions. This way,
align with the CBE framework, upgrading to diploma level training and ensuring continuous professional development for teachers. He also noted that CAMIS will serve as a central platform for tracking learner data. The CS reaffirmed the government's commitment to accessible and affordable education, pointing to the new student-centered funding model where ELB has already disbursed 9.46 billion shillings to more than 309,000 students.
As I conclude, I wish to assure you of the government's commitment to accessible, quality and relevant education across the education system. As part of this commitment, we will continue to ensure that our education institutions and learners are funded in a timely and sustainable manner. For universities, for example, we have recently directed that the universities review their cost of academic programs downwards. And I think that has been effected. By doing so, we shall be increasing the enrollment and ensuring continuous attendance in ECD centers across the country. Second is enhancing quality and relevance. We are doing that through aligning services with modern educational standards and the development of needs of children. That we are also promoting equity and inclusivity through supporting learners with special needs and those from disadvantaged backgrounds. Fourth, we are strengthening transition pathways by a way of facilitating smooth progression from home to primary and onwards to primary.
Lilian Kimanthi, reporting for Catholic Focus, Capuchin TV, Embu.
Still on matters education, the government has dismissed claims that university tuition fees have been increased. Principal Secretary for Higher Learning, Dr. Beatrice Inyangala, says fees have instead been revised downward under the new student funding model. She clarified that the first-year students will pay between 5,000 and 75,000 shillings per semester, depending on their program and level of need. Dr. Inyangala added that the amounts indicated in the admission letters only reflect tuition cost, not other personal expenses.
All university fee has been subsidized, as you know, through scholarships. and loans. And so the fees payable by students is just slightly over 5,000 to a maximum of 75,000. I can confirm here, without any fear of contradiction, that a majority of the students are paying 28,000 this semester. And that is so much less than what they have been paying even in high school. I have been engaging universities. We are receiving daily reports. The process is ongoing, but they have released admission letters. And the admission letters only indicate the fees that the students are paying. In the past, we had a few parents who are also not understanding how these fees was being calculated in terms of what goes to the scholarship, what goes to the loan, and what are they supposed to pay. And that misinformation and disinformation fueled a lot of discomfort. So now the communication is very clear. It is just the fees payable, and the students are paying, the parents are paying, and they're very comfortable.
Still maintaining matters in education, and to more interesting story. Joblessness continues to bite in Kenya, but labor immigration pact between Kenya and Germany is now opening doors for opportunities for the young people. The agreement signed in 2024 is helping Kenyan graduates secure training, employment, and cultural exchange abroad. Our reporter David Kiprotich tells us more about this pact.
Kenya's unemployment crisis remains one of the country's biggest challenges. According to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, more than 1.2 million youth enter the job market every year, but only a fraction secure formal jobs. Youth unemployment is estimated at over 13%, pushing many into casual work, hustles, or long-term joblessness. To tackle this, bilateral relations between Kenya and the federal government of Germany are opening new frontiers. A migration and employment agreement signed in Berlin last year has paved the way for Kenyan students and skilled workers to find opportunities in Germany. One of the beneficiaries is Mount Kenya University, which has partnered with Hochschule Koblenz and AG Career Hub to train and deploy nursing graduates abroad. The initiative has given young people not just jobs, but also global skills and exposure. During the second edition of the German Career Fair, 29 more nursing students were commissioned to travel to Germany next month. Germany officials reaffirmed their commitment to expand opportunities under the pact.
We fulfill it with life, and I'm very happy to be here at the university today. And we are happy to welcome motivated young Kenyans in Germany, and we're looking forward to see them in Germany.
Kenyan officials and education stakeholders say the partnership aligns with Kenya's development goals by addressing youth unemployment, boosting remittances, and enabling skills transfer. Mount Kenya University Vice Chancellor Professor Degratas Jaganyi welcomed the recognition of the institution as a showcase in the partnership, describing it as a chance to create jobs, skills trade, and cultural exchange.
And today we have sent out 29 apprentice students who are heading to Germany for the nursing apprentice. And we are very happy with that one. It's one way of making sure that our youth have opportunities outside the country. And we are very happy with the collaboration that we have got with the German institution. And we are hoping that it will continue to grow from strength to strength. The criteria we use is that you must be able to have a degree first. And then the second thing, you must be able to do a German language to the B level. In other words, you can be able to talk to people when you're in the hospital. This is a long time collaboration. We have, it's not something that is going to end today, because at the end of the day, we are here to train our students, and they need to be able to get an opportunity to be able to work. And Germany are in need of the nursing profession. And therefore, we have got this collaboration. It's going to be a very long-lasting collaboration.
Beneficiaries such as Lewis Kamanga, Rose Wamuthi, and Margaret Waingo expressed their joy, saying the program will allow them to advance their careers while supporting their families back home.
I'm very happy to get the chance also to travel to Germany and do my further studies there. And all I can say is to probably tell young people that the platform is open for everyone.
The journey has been seamless, and I'm looking forward to learning as in Germany as a nurse and experiencing the new culture.
Personally, I've been working as a CNA, so going to Germany will open more doors for me in the nursing program, and also I have other opportunities which I can do my career.
I appreciate the partnership between MKU and the German Institute, where they are helping not only create employment opportunities, but also give students like us a chance to go and work outside Kenya.
Yeah, it's a program that I would actually encourage people to do because it gives you different opportunities to go and do in German and other German-speaking countries, and it also gives you the chance to explore different cultures, and it's a good thing. Among the graduates, yes, I think it's a factor that can help reduce the number of unemployment, because in Germany there are many job opportunities available. So if someone actually checks what they qualify in, they can actually get jobs there, and it's good for both parties.
Their program, currently focused on nursing, is set to expand into ICT, engineering, and technical trades, further strengthening Kenya-Germany ties and easing pressure from joblessness at home. Reporting for Catholic Focus, my name is Kiprotich David.
And we wish the students the very best as they move to Germany to further their studies and others to work. Moving forward, as President William Ruto steps up his fight against corruption, Wisero MP Christopher Seka is calling for urgent action against some leaders, including members of parliament and officials in the Ministry of Health who he says are stealing public funds. Seka is urging the president to act quickly by ordering arrests and making sure those responsible face justice. Here is Maureen Kimani with that report.
At a women's empowerment event at Shirosa Catholic Church in Kakamega County, Wisero Member of Parliament Christopher Seka delivered a sharp message calling out alleged corruption involving fellow lawmakers.
Sisi tunasema kama kuna mbunge yeyote ambaye anafanya ufisadi atajwe na ashikwe na apelekwe koti. Hatutakubali watu wachache walafi waharibie jina ya wabunge na seneta. Tunamwambia rais akamate huyo mjumbe, apeleke ndani, awe funzo kwa wengi.
Seka urged President William Ruto to turn his anti-corruption rhetoric into action by ordering the immediate arrest and prosecution of those implicated within the newly established Social Health Authority under the Ministry of Health, a scheme he described as a betrayal of public trust.
Na pia kuna watu wengine pia ni wakora katika ministries. Tumeona juzi kule SHA, ile kitu ambayo imekuja kusaidia wamama wetu hapa kwa dispensaries na health center. Tumeona watu wanaiba pesa huko. Tunamwomba rais vile alisema kwamba mambo ni matatu kwa wale cartels wa miwa, pia kule SHA aseme mambo ni mangapi? Wale wezi wote wafanye nini? Wabunge, mimi nimepeleka mswada ya kubadilisha ile kipengele wameleta juzi ati wewe ulipe pesa ya mwaka mzima. Tunataka tulipe tu pesa kila mwezi. Munasema tulipe kila mwezi. Kwa sababu ukiambia mama alipe shilingi 15,000 mara moja atatoa wapi? Lakini akilipanga shilingi 500, 200 kila mwezi atapata matibabu.
As the nation backs the promise of universal health care, the demand for transparency and accountability at every stage of implementation is growing louder. Reporting for Catholic Focus, I'm Maureen Kimani.
We look forward to better days with zero corruption reported in the government. Moving forward, elders in Teso South are raising alarm over delays in the release of government funds meant to cushion the vulnerable, saying the holdup has pushed many to anchor poverty and despair. Here's more.
elders in Teso South have raised concerns over the delay in the release of government funds meant to support the elderly and persons living with disabilities. Gathered at Ngelechom village, the elders lamented that the delay has left many struggling to meet their basic needs, with some sinking deeper into poverty. They accused government agencies of dragging their feet and urged elected leaders to follow up with the concerned ministry, questioning whether the money was diverted elsewhere.
Shikana na Madam Mary Mase mbunge wetu. Registration of persons kwa sababu ile kitu inampea nyinyi mpate kura. Lazima mtu awe na kitambulisho. Tulete registration kwa location wise ambapo mnasimamia kama mnaweza toa watu wenye wanaweza kuja kusimamia. Iwe mobile so that each and everybody katika kijiji anapatikana amepata kitambulisho.
In response, Busia Women Representative Catherine Omayo urged the National Treasury to expedite the release of funds, saying the most vulnerable cannot continue to wait indefinitely.
Wazee ambao wametimia kupata hiyo pesa ya uzeeni walianza vizuri kupata. Suddenly pesa haifikii wengine. Swali ni nani amekata pesa ya wazee wengine na inaenda kwa nani, ichunguzwe kama kuna mtu anakula pesa ya hao wazee. Wote yafaa wawe wanapata kwa saa ifaayo, isicheleweshwe kwa sababu at their age surely tusiwaongeze depression. Already wako na challenges mingi. Mtu unapata leo after 2 months ama 3 upati. Sasa hiyo pia tunataka tufuatilie tujue wazee wote Kenya nzima wawe wanapata pesa yao ya cash transfer.
She also called on the Office of the Registrar of Persons to fast-track the insurance of national identity cards, cautioning that the delays have locked out many young people from critical opportunities, including jobs and government programs.
Vitambulisho inachelewa sana kuletwa katika vijiji, na kama tunataka kweli kutimisha ama kutimiza ahadi ya vijana wetu ambao walisema raundi hii 2027 watapiga kura, wapigie wale viongozi ambao kweli wanaona wanaweza wasaidia. ID isicheleweshwe, hata isichukue wiki, kwa sababu saa hii kila kitu iko digitalized. Nini inachelewesha?
The elders now hope that their cry will prompt urgent action, ensuring that the elderly, persons with disabilities, and other vulnerable groups finally receive the help they were promised. Reporting for Catholic Focus, my name is Nakasa Angela.
A sport check on the sports today. The draw for the 2025 CECAFA Kagame Cup, sponsored by betting firm Betika, was conducted earlier today at the Pan Pacific Suites in Westlands here in Nairobi. Kenya's representative Kenya Police FC have been placed in Group A alongside Siginda Foundation Gate of Tanzania, Gardekote of Djibouti, and Ethiopia Coffee. Group B will feature APR of Rwanda, NEC of Uganda, Bomamuru FC of Burundi, and Mgadalege of Zanzibar. Meanwhile, Group C includes Al Halil Abdurrahman of Sudan, Kator from South Sudan, Mogadishu City of Somalia, and Al Hali Sports Club Wad Madani of Sudan. The tournament will take place in Tanzania on the 22nd to 15th September 2025.
Thank you. My name is Mutua Mutava, the Group CEO of Betika, and today we are just announcing the sponsorship of CECAFA, which is the 2025 Kagame Cup, and it is a great pleasure for us to come and make that announcement of being the official sponsor of the tournament and giving 42 million Kenya shillings to support this sponsorship. And just to commit that, as Betika has always done as a partner in supporting sports.
Kwanza ni jambo la kumshukuru Mungu kwamba CECAFA tunapata partner mwingine tena. Mwaka huu wameingia Betika na unaona kabisa kwamba ofa yao ni nzuri, kwa hiyo ina maana hatutakuwa na sababu nyingine ya kutofanya mashindano ya Kagame. nia yangu kubwa na wenzangu ilikuwa kuhakikisha kwamba tunarudisha mashindano ya Kagame kwa ajili ya kuwa kama pre-season kwa timu zetu ambazo zinajitayarisha kwa ajili ya mashindano ya Afrika kwa maana ya Confederation na Championship.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have a partnership like Betika during this season, especially during the coming of AFCON. So I can say that is feel good.
Kenya women's volleyball team libero Celestine Nyongesa says she still has Nyongesa says she still has room for improvement despite impressing on a debut at the Volleyball Champions Award that they went in Thailand. Nyongesa, who plays for the Kenya Pipeline, was part of the team that secured a straight set of victory over Vietnam in their final group match. The 29-year-old who returned to the national team after 9 years says she has drawn important lessons from experienced liberals across the world and hopes the exposure will help her grow into a stronger player. Although Kenya exited the tournament after finishing third in Pool G, Nyongesa expressed confidence that teamwork and discipline will carry the Malkia Strikers to better results in future competitions. The team is expected back into the country on Friday afternoon.
Jana haijakuwa rahisi kutoka Kenya tukakuja Vietnam, leo tukapa Thailand. Tumejaribu yetu yote. Mungu ametusaidia kwa hii win. Tumejikomboa, kila mtu amefanya part yake. Na kila kitu ikawaka. Kutoka kwa setter, libero, blocks, reception, everything tumefanya tu venye kocha ametuambia na kila kitu imewaka ndio tukapata hii win ya leo. Hii win imenimotivate tu sana, imenipea tu ile nguvu kuingia hapo kwa Malkia. Nime-experience vitu mingi kutoka kama opponent kama Poland, Germany, wamenifundisha tu vitu mingi sana. Yenye nikienda Kenya nikitia manani, kila kitu kitawaka na ndaendelea kusonga mbele. Kwa department yangu ya libero nimewatch hao malibero wenzangu, movement zao, reception, venye wanasimama, everything imeenda tu through na ndaka sana. Hii win imesha motivate. Tukienda huko bado tuta put more effort to win another matches.
And that story there of Malkia Strikers brings us to the end of our today's edition of Catholic Focus. Thank you, our viewers, for staying with us. Special appreciation to our production team behind the scenes for making this bulletin possible. Until next time, I am Deborah Mwani alongside our sign language interpreter, Jane Ambaye, wishing you a blessed day. I will leave you with a brief update about today's saint, Saint Augustine of Hippo.
Today, the church celebrates the memory of St. Augustine of Hippo. St. Augustine of Hippo was one of the most influential thinkers in the history of Christianity. Born on November 13th in Tagaste, North Africa, modern-day Algeria, he was raised in the Catholic faith by his devout mother, St. Monica. As a young man, however, he strayed from Christianity, pursuing worldly pleasures while studying rhetorics in Carthage and building a career as an orator. His philosophical curiosity led him to join the Manichaeans, who promised rational answers to life's mysteries, but after nearly a decade, he found their teachings unsatisfying. Seeking truth, St. Augustine moved to Rome and then Milan, where he encountered the preaching of St. Ambrose. Ambrose's eloquence and wisdom deeply impressed him, guiding Augustine back to Christianity. After a long inner struggle, he was baptized in 387. Soon after, his mother Monica died. Consoled by the conversion of her son, returning to North Africa, Augustine dedicated himself to prayer, study, and communal life. Reluctantly ordained as a priest and later Bishop of Hippo, he spent the rest of his life serving the church through preaching, teaching, and writing. He opposed heresies such as Manichaeism, Donatism, and Pelagianism, while producing influential works including Confessions and the City of God. Augustine died on the 28th of August 430 during the Veda Siege of Hippo. His thought profoundly shaped Christian doctrine and continues to inspire faith and reflection today. St. Augustine of Hippo, pray for us.
Keep watching Capuchin TV, your staunchly Catholic identity channel. You are watching Capuchin TV. For any complaints, comments, or compliments on our programming, you can either write to us on info@capuchintv.co.ke or you can call us directly on 0717 424 866. Your complaint shall be addressed within 7 days. Remember to keep a copy of your communication with us. Keep watching Capuchin TV, your Catholic identity. Do you desire to join Vocational Training Center where great skills are offered? Choose Mercy Commercial Vocational Training Center, located in Mwingi, Ngutani Market. We are dedicated to providing high-quality, profound, and marketable courses. We offer computer studies, secretarial courses, hairdressing and beauty therapy, dressmaking and tailoring. Our learning environment is conducive for students. We also offer food and accommodation at affordable charges. Enrollment is ongoing. Join us today to maximize your potential. For more information and inquiries, contact us on 0712 688 609 or 0790 306 983. Mercy Vocational Training Center. We empower learners.